Hello and welcome. This is the first time I'm doing a podcast, and this is just the second start. I have Yoshi, Marco, and Max with me.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
And we were talking about the 24-hour race, what's happened in this weekend. So, to use the advantage, I was raced with Chris. So, let's start with you. Introduce yourself and your team.
Yeah, I'm Chris, or also known as Blue Baby Yoshi. Yeah, we raced the number 46 Porsche 991 Mark II in the 24. I think we started P23.
24, but yeah. P23, but we qualified in P24.
And we finished in P34.
33. P33,
No.
where we finished. Yeah.
I don't remember anymore. I'm still dead from the 24, so.
Yeah, it's fine. But in the AM class, we finished in P3.
That's true.
Okay, so Marco, it's your turn. Introduce yourself and your team.
So, my team was myself, Theo, Rafa, and Winnie. We were driving the number 531 Ferrari. We qualified 29, but we started 28, and we finished 38 and in 5th in amateur class because we got a disconnect in the last few hours, I think.
And last but not least, Max.
Yeah, and also my mates and I, we were driving the Porsche number 424. So the guys, so it was Alexis, Antoine, Vincent, and myself driving the Porsche. We started in something like P25, if I'm not mistaken,
23?
and we ended. Nah, you started 23. We started 25.
Oh yeah, sorry, you started from a little bit late.
Just behind you,
Yeah.
but not for long though.
Yeah, because
And
you went for
then
tire
we-
change, but we are not there yet.
Yeah, let's not discuss this yet. Yeah, and then to do it really quickly, we ended up in P39. P29. By the end of the race, we had quite a bit of a lack of luck, basically, with our connection. So we had some issue about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so I just changed the questions. So I shared all of the questions what I raised for the guys. And thank you, Max. My first question is, what tire pick and why you choose to start on the wet tire?
Oh, so why did I choose to start on the wet tire? Because I don't know the game that well, it seems. So yeah, basically the games were telling us that the track was wet.
No, it was damp.
Nah, it was damp. No, it was not damp.
No, it was damp when we started the race, and
Okay.
half an hour
Well,
it
whatever.
was.
Well,
Yeah, that's
that
fine.
explains why I went for the wet tires, because I thought it was saying it was wet. So, and I thought it would stay like this for at least some laps, and that getting the wet tires would make a difference for like maybe the 5 first laps or so, a big difference. But it ended up that even in the formation lap, basically, at slow pace, the wet tires were already overheating. So already at that moment, I knew we fucked up, basically. But yeah, nothing else.
Yeah,
nothing
you
we could do
weren't
anymore,
alone.
So
I think 10 people
Yeah.
was in the pit in
yeah,
end
but
of
it
lap one.
means that after like lap 1, we went from P25, so right behind you, to P39 because we had to pit, and we came back on track on P39. So a lot of people still did pick the good tires and the dry tires because we ended up way back.
Yeah,
So,
10 people started on the wet, so at least 10 people was in the pit on end of lap one.
Yeah, so that was our first lap. Not the best start, to be honest.
Okay, so
Yeah.
to carry on with the original plan, so Marco, why did you choose the Ferrari when everyone knows the Porsche is a better choice?
Sorry, what?
I chose Ferrari because I wanted to try a mid-engine car for a longer time. The thing is, it suited me very well, but the rest of my team didn't feel so lucky with it, and I don't know. To me it's great. It's maybe the best car that I put some time in this game. So I think I will main the Ferrari for the next few races and next leagues. I'll see.
Yeah, Max, what's your take from the Porsche? To the good choice, bad choice, or it was a mistake?
So let me first explain why we did pick that car. And the reason is very simple. The reason is Flint was supposed to drive on this car with us. And that's why we went with this car, because Flint wanted to drive the Porsche.
Blame me.
Then in the end,
The
he
problem
ended
is
up-
the problem is if you're starting this, Chris will blaming me too, because for the other team I choose the Porsche too.
Exactly, that's the point. That's the point. So yeah, that's why we went with the Porsche initially. And yeah, then we start training on it and developing the setup for it, so it was a bit late anyway to change. But yeah, that's why. So my thought on the Porsche, never again on Spa. On other tracks, yeah, why not? But never again in Spa. The thing is way too slow in the straights, basically. It's super fast in sector 2, but you lose so much time in sector 1 and 3 that it's not worth it, basically. And yeah, on the full, when it's raining a lot, also the car is struggling quite a bit. It can be a bit improved with a setup, but still, I think we are a better car overall for Spa, at least, for sure.
And Yoshi,
Why did we choose the Porsche?
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I have to agree with Max. You were on the car, but you were not the only reason. It's like I knew that you were comfortable with the Porsche, and I was like, okay. I also want to drive the Porsche. Haven't driven it in some time. I just recently got a rig and new pedals and everything, so I was like, all right, let's try the car again, because prior I wasn't really comfortable on it. Then we also had Kieran on the car, and I was like, he also is really good with the Porsche, so maybe let's
Yeah,
go with the car.
He's
And
maining the Porsche, right, Kieran?
I think he's for sprint races, yeah. I think he did like now 2 seasons of ACR with it, and he's doing pretty good. I think he's 5th right now in championship or something like that.
yeah. To be honest,
But
the
yeah,
Porsche,
that was the reason why we went with the Porsche in hindsight after the race now, to just go for give a slight hint on one of the questions to coming test the cars better, or
I think
maybe don't take the Porsche for enduros, to say the least.
If we don't have the stormy season and we don't have a hurricane in the middle of Spa, I think the Porsche was performing okay.
I mean, honestly, yeah, if it would have stayed dry, we would have probably easily survived. I mean, we had our misfortunes during the race, but those happen. But yeah, the storm and the rain were, as Max also said, like the worst. And our setup didn't suit those conditions a little bit. So yeah, we were basically swimming, and swimming is not fun in a race car.
Yeah, so I think we already explained the worst moment, but what was your best during the race, Yoshi?
My best moment, I mean, I can give you a top 3 for myself. So the top 3, starting with 3rd, is probably the start where up Rouge and Radial, there was a collision in front of me and I didn't die. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna start this, and then I ended up P15 after my stint. Top 2, or second best moment was when I came back from having some sleep, and we were still running and not dead. after you guys survived the rain. And yeah, my best moment was finishing the race actually. I mean, after we had storm in the last 1.5 hours, I was happy that I could just park the car and never look at it again. So that's probably the best moment I had.
Yeah, we have a very advanced tactics when we have like 5 minutes left, and I told you go and change brakes because it takes extra 45 minutes and we still don't need to drive.
Yeah, I basically 10 minutes before the race ended was like, all right, it's so flooded and wet on the track. The car feels like shit, and we take 3 minutes around anyway. I just go change brakes, and then we had 5 minutes left, and I didn't do the last lap. I just waited for the leader in the pits. So yeah, that was the last 10 minutes for us. But we were so far ahead of the P34 behind us that yeah.
Yeah, we have like 15 laps of the lead. So even if we're staying there for half an hour, we're still ahead of them.
Exactly.
Marco, best and worst moment?
So let's start with the worst, because why not? The worst moment was when somewhere around the start of my second stint, at the beginning, Theo told me my rain lights were still on, and I was trying to
Oh, I remember that one.
deactivate them, but I did it in a wrong time through the MFD. It didn't want to accept the change, and I went straight after a rouge in a wall before the Camel Straight. Did a massive damage on a car. Lost like 5 minutes to get the in-lap into pits. And then when I was entering the pit, I speeded through the line, got the penalty when I left the pit. Went again in to do a drive-through, done a drive-through, and then I got a penalty from something I don't even know why. I got another drive-through and went from P13 to P39, I think. So yeah, that was the worst moment. But
you get a drive-through because you hit someone who came out from who believed you came out from the pit, and you get a drive-through because the steward said you have an unsafe pit exit because they believe you are coming out from the pit, but you were bouncing back from the wall, and you were still inside in the track limits, but they said it's an unsafe pit exit, and this is why you get the drive-through. And because we discussed this, yeah, it was unfortunate.
Yeah, even you lost it. Basically, if we had looked at it, it would have been a racing incident. But yeah, well.
And the best moment,
Shit happened.
best moment. I would probably be the whole night stint I did, the 2 stints. I think I was like passed by just one car, and that was P1. But I did so many moves. I unlapped myself through the whole field. I think I passed 30 to maybe even 40 cars during those 2.5 hours. It was pretty fun. No mistakes, just pure pace. And yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I agree on that as well. Just jumping in again, like for myself, not just the team, but for myself. Seeing that I was not the slowest guy, and that I really had pace when it at least was dry. I think I had 2 double stints where I was one of the top 10 fastest cars on the track. I only got lapped as well by P1, P2, and P3 probably, if even. So yeah, that was cool to see.
Yeah, before going to Max, so my worst moment was lap 333 when we are in position 33 and the 666 car crashed us in the storm, and he was spinning in the middle of Camel Straight, and my car was totally destroyed. And this wasn't the worst moment. The worst moment was when he destroyed me, and I see he got 15 seconds of penalty, and I had to go back to the pit for 5 minutes and repair the car for 3 minutes. So that was devastating. And I think the best moment was around 14 hours after the race start, when I was a little bit in the bottom of getting tired, and I told Yoshi I just turned on the party mode, and I started to do like 22 half laps. And Yoshi just told me put it back to engine mode 4 or I will kill the engine. but that was fun. So let's switch it to Max.
Yeah, the stars really aligned on this one, I guess. P33, lap 333, and you get punted by car 666. I mean, it's a sign. It was meant to be.
Yeah, they have something else with 6. I don't know, something happened in 66, but it was
Okay.
sixes and 3s everywhere. So yeah,
Okay.
it was very bad, and because I'm the only one from our team who's driving in VR. So in the storm in VR you cannot see anything. Plus on the top you're losing half of your headlights. Plus your windscreen is broken and your front bumper is covering half of your vision. I had to drive first time in my professional ACC life in a third person camera because I cannot see anything. So yeah, it was bad. Max, best and worst?
Well, worst moment was basically the tree disconnection we got. So yeah, that was very disappointing. We lost so much time. Basically, when you disconnect, you lose time because you need to find your driver one, which was me, and I was not driving at the time. You need to call him and tell him, oh, okay, we got disconnected, so everyone need to disconnect, and then you need to rejoin and so on. So you already lose at least one lap. Then you need to return to garage, so you lose one other lap. Then you need to wait. You need to pit exit, and so you basically lose at least 3 laps at every time. So basically, we lost 9 laps there, which is a pity. So that would be the absolute 3 worst moments, I guess. And one other bad moment was at the end at sunrise, basically at the end of the night. I took a stint, and it was the track was starting to dry, and I took the gamble to go on the slicks very early, and I killed the car. I put it in the wall, like basically like not 2 laps in a row, but in a very short duration. So again, I made us lose a lot of time there, which was very frustrating. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I had quite some epic moments also, some very, very nice moments. One of the best, even though it ended up with a drive-through for me, but yeah, whatever, was a big battle with with P16 though, I think it was at the time, a Bentley basically. And he basically was behind me, trying to lap me, but we had very similar pace, so I didn't want to let him just by like this. So we
that
had
was
quite
a
a battle.
blue Bentley?
Yeah.
Haha, yeah, Yoshi, you have a story from the Bentley too.
Yeah, the lovely blue Bentley at I think was it in the
Yeah, we went to
in the morning. I struggled in the middle of my stint with the tires, and the guy came up behind me after I drove past him, like I think 4 or 5 laps earlier, and he just came up on me after Longchamp into the bus stop. And well, if I wouldn't have seen him being way too fast, he would have collected me. So he ran way too wide into bus stop and had a bad exit. So I overtook him again until a source. I was like, I'm not gonna give up any time, because at that point in time, before the rain came, he still had a shot at, in the end, P32. And I just was ahead in Camel Straight, and he overtook me again because they had the more top speed. So into the right and left-hander after Camel Straight, he just basically lost it in the left-hander and put it in the wall. So I was like, yeah, mate, if you just have waited like a corner or 2 more, you could have just easily passed me because you were faster, but you had to do it and force it, and you lost it. So
yeah, and after we received a message to learn to respect the blue flag.
oh yeah,
To you, who did it? They did it themselves, or the race control did it?
No, they did
The driver sent us a message, so he sent me in French,
okay.
and I was respected his French knowledge, so I answered him in Hungarian too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, basically, he did the same thing to me. Basically, he was flashing me so like I said, we were at the same pace, and the reason we were at the same pace is basically I was destroying him in sector 2, and then in sector 1 and 3 he was catching up because he had the tow, and also he has a faster car in the straights. So basically, I was making him gain time with the tow. But he kept flashing me from 15 meters away at the end of Camel Straight.
Yeah, this is a
And
misunderstanding in ACC because people believe when you have a blue flag, you need
Yeah.
to
Flag
let them
on, yeah.
pass. But if they are not faster, you're not fighting when they started to overtake you. But until they are not faster than you, you're not supposed to stop in the sideways, what I'm sometimes do. But if he's like 0.1 seconds faster than you, he don't have the pace to overtake you, you don't need to let him pass by.
Nah, well, yeah, but anyway, so at some point I got really tired of him flashing me basically, and I said, okay, fuck it. So I let him pass, and then I think I never drove so close from a car for so long ever before. I was like in his bumper, but for like 3 laps, and then he fucked it up again, and I went, I passed him again. And then he was so pissed that he did some stupid shit at the end of the Camel Straight in Lacombe, just like you basically. He tried to overtake me by the outside, and then he closed the door on me, and he went into a spin because we had contact, and then I got a drive-through for that because he went to race control for it, but whatever. It was funny at the time, and the battle until the contact. I mean, the pressure I was putting on me, it was really great. I really enjoyed that. So, yeah. So that was one good moment, I guess, even though it didn't finish well for us. And the other one was my last stint when it started raining again. And basically, we couldn't gain any places with the remaining time and the pace we had. But I said, okay, fuck it, let's go one more time in the rain. And I started overtaking people again and again, basically. And yeah, it was super fun.
Okay, so we are a little bit out from the 50 minutes plan, what I planned. So, lesson learned, what do you think you want to change for the next 24-hour race? Let's start with Marco.
Lesson learned. Well, first lesson would be sure that everyone in the team can actually drive the car in some kind of pace and not like 228s, 224s, and 227. What would I change? Well, maybe I would change the stewards if it's the same league, but
I disagree with you. I think the stewards were amazing. They answered every incident in 15 minutes. The rule book was shit because they had a guideline. If they see an accident under blue flag, they need to give you a drive-through. But every time when you reported an accident, 15 minutes later, they already posted this is the result. So I think the stewards were good, but they're following the wrong rules. But you can disagree with me, but I believe the stewards did amazing job. But the guideline what they followed, it was not suitable for this kind of race, because when you get a drive-through in Spa, you're losing 2 minutes, already 1 lap behind everyone.
yeah, that's the problem too. The track, the pit entry, and the length of the pit. Maybe that's why I didn't like their decisions, but yeah.
Yeah, no, they don't have any kind of chance to check. Okay, he lost 5 seconds, no position gain or loss. Okay, I just give you a warning. They don't have this. They just get a straight order. If you see a touch on the blue flag, drive through. But it's they award it for everyone, so we wasn't the only one who suffered. But yeah, that was pathetic. So Max, same question. What do you want to change for the next 24 hours?
On Spa or whatever the track?
No, just what. How do you prepare yourself a little bit better to avoid the accident or the mistakes? What you mean?
do a little bit of more research on what car to use first. Don't tilt when you fuck up, because you will fuck up again if you tilt. And yeah, a bit more preparation, because we kind of came to this kind of like tourist, at least with my car. So a bit more preparation, I guess. But overall, it was a great experience, and it went really great compared to the time we invested for the preparation. Except some technical issue we had, like the disconnection. But other than that, it went really great.
Yeah, I just want to use Chris' words for this. We take the preparation as a YOLO. So we just went straight and we enjoyed, and we expected everything will be fine, but it wasn't. So Chris, what do you want to change, or what
You just used my words that are YOLO, and I didn't even use YOLO. Lessons learned is it's a mix out of what the other two already said, like making sure that everyone is fine on the car, because I mean in the middle of the race we found out that one of our guys first was not prepared enough when his stint started, and then wasn't fine with the car, and then as Max said, tilted because he fucked up. At least that's I think what we found out now, and I don't know if Tetra hears this, but no hard feelings from my side or any other guys. I heard nothing. It happens, but yeah, next time if I am driver number one and it's quota my car again, yeah, make sure that everyone knows what setup we use. And yeah, talking about setup, making sure the setup works in all conditions, or at least in everything except storm maybe, because as soon as it was more than a drizzle, we had super hard time to stay on the track, and that's probably the thing that annoyed me the most, because I had to leave my guys behind in the night, and I stayed an hour longer up that I could have maybe used for sleep, to just be there, because I felt bad after giving them my setup for the race, because it was literally, and I'm not over exaggerating on this, it was unfucking drivable. It was it's like I felt at the end, and I got my fair share of wet driving as well. I felt like a GT4 against GT3s.
I think it's a GT4 against GTEs, not
or
3.
something like that. Yeah, like at the end, I think the leader did like 234s when we did 255s, and even when the storm hit, like they did 240s, and we were at 3 minutes, and it's just
Yeah,
it was just insane.
Yeah, when we had a storm, so basically when we had a storm, the 666 Ferrari suffered a lot, and you just see he's spinning in the middle of the racetrack, always in every lap in the same corner. You see the same car there. That was hard.
I mean, what else did I learn? I learned that I'm not bad at driving a car if I have enough hours on it. I mean, I basically went into the event having like 2 hours of time on the Porsche prior to preparing for this race, and I think I had 30 hours of preparation and all around in 2 weeks. Because I checked the other day before Mate, and he said like you have 60 hours in 2 weeks, and I was like, yep. 60 hours of ACC in 2 weeks is a lot if you have a full-time job as well. But yeah, I mean, I think we can also include the next question, like what do they change for the next 24? The car, maybe.
For me, I think we should expect to choose a car what is not trying to kill us. So, for example, Lambo has some behavior, some point of the race when the fuel level and the tire wear is so high, the car is just behave differently. This kind of stuff. Porsche definitely. Sometimes you have a snap oversteer or some kind of issues with the car, or if you have a maximum torque on the Mercedes and some people cannot control it. Just don't choose the car what the people cannot drive. It's better to have an easy to drive car when everyone is comfortable, and have a amazingly fast car for 3 drivers, and the 4th driver cannot really make a clean lap.
I mean, I until the race started and we were in the race thought that everyone was comfortable on the car. I mean, the rain stuff I kind of could have seen earlier, but I mean, yeah, we should maybe choose a car that where the setup works in wet and dry, without a lot of changes and compromising either of the two conditions. But anything else, kind of, I don't know. It was our first 24, at least my first 24-hour race, and I think also for you, Daniel, and I think Max as well. I don't know about Marco, but I think too. So
Yeah, my first.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
same for
it
Theo,
was-
same for Rafa, same for Vinny.
Same for everyone, I
same-
think.
yeah, I think everyone,
Yeah.
all the people on every car, it was the first 24, and from what I know from a lot of streamers, like the first 24, you suffer, and then you know, and you will suffer again probably. But there's some things we know, like look at the setups, look at the cars, make sure people are comfy on the car, and
yeah, suffer definitely. It's a good word. I just finished a race vlog, and I realized I use suffer like almost every second minute, like 5 times. I want to wrap up and just finish it quickly. So before we say goodbye, and thank you for everyone to listening this podcast, just all of you, the easiest question from the questionnaire. If you need to describe this 24-hour race with 3 words, but you cannot use rain, long and hard, what will be your own words? And let's start with Yoshi.
I can't use rain long and hard.
Maybe you cannot use suffer.
3 words. One is definitely exhausting. Exhausting, fun, and pain.
Max?
Definitely exhausting. Roller coaster. And yeah, fun also, yeah.
And Marco?
Fast. A wall. And a drive-through.
You got the best. You want this one.
Yeah, I think this will be the best moment to finish this conversation. Yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for being amazing and awesome. If you liked it, just comment it. If you want to see or listen more of this, just yeah, just do what you want. Take care and see you next time. Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye.